Toxic with 51 wants to know, what is your guys' thoughts on the Chris Stuckmann situation? You heard about this?
Oh yeah, I've been
You're in
deep
the
in
movie
it,
space, so you heard about this.
debating, arguing. I'm shocked that it became a situation. I watched that video and I was like, this makes sense. I agree with him. And then
Yep.
like a lot of times when I watch movies and I'm like, oh, I like this movie, and go on Twitter and everybody's like, it sucks and you suck if you like it. I was like, oh, people were mad at him because he didn't want to review Madam Web, even though he talked about he's not going to review movies that he doesn't like. So clearly he didn't like Madam Web. And in the beginning of the video, he said, if you want to see a review of Madam Web that they're trashing it, there's 100 reviews out right now.
Yeah,
you can watch, which is true. Like my review, your review, Kenny's review, like just amongst our circle that are close, we all were trashing this movie. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I thought he had solid points. I kind of get people being upset because like, oh, you just want us to be easy on you when your movie comes out.
It's jealousy. It's jealousy. That's how I see it. This is how
I
see
think it's from the people who are coming at him.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
I think Chris Stuckmann, first of all, this just shows the testament to the legend that is Chris Stuckmann in this space. Because how many people used his name, used his picture in their thumbnails to talk about this and are getting all those clicks? Like, I was seeing this snowball over the weekend. One video came out, got like thousands of views. Then all of a sudden, a bunch of other videos came out, started collecting views. It's the hot new topic to talk about. Look, Chris Stuckmann has been around for years. And what's funny is if you watch his channel, that's not a surprise because I watch his channel regularly. Like, I'm a regular Chris Stuckmann watcher. Like 2 years ago, he talked about how he wasn't going to do movie reviews for bad movies anymore. So I stopped expecting that. So I was actually surprised when he posted a video that had Madam Web in the thumbnail and said I had to talk about this. I was like, oh crap, he said he wasn't going to do bad movie reviews anymore.
And I was like, was this that bad? And he's like, I gotta say something.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But the video isn't about that. It's about how he saw issues from within the studio system that affected this movie, and he was bringing light to those situations and for how writers and those who are lower on the totem pole in Hollywood are kind of treated within the studio system. And what ended up happening is you saw on Twitter, all these people, one person started it, and then just all these people, which I'm
post. He's so cringy or something like that. And everybody started retweeting that.
Yep. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just going to say what I actually think. People saw that who are ticked off that Chris Stuckmann can get views and they can't. That's where it came from. This guy is not even going to review the movie. This guy's not even going to talk about it. And he gets millions of views or he gets millions of this. Meanwhile, I'm working so hard on my movie review and I'm writing up my script and I can't even get past 50 views. Creates jealousy, creates bitterment, and that is why they went against Chris Stuckmann, because they see him as this movie critic who's made it, who's living my dream, and he is not hitting my standards of what I believe a movie critic on YouTube should be at. Chris Stuckmann's channel is Chris Stuckmann's channel. Any other YouTuber who changes their direction of how they want to go with their channel, you can choose to unsubscribe, you can choose to click off, and that's totally fine, but they have every right to change direction of their channel. And you can be upset about it, but people are acting like Chris Stuckmann went out and shot a puppy. Like it's ridiculous. It is,
and now they're talking about ridiculous. Like there's all these titles of like, is film criticism dying? And he didn't even talk about that.
Film
he didn't even
criticism
say that
dying.
You couldn't do that. He's not saying you can't criticize his film. He just wanted to talk about the studio system and how it hurts so much because he's dealing with it. He has actual knowledge, unlike us who are on the outside looking in, hearing reports of it, and we can interpret those things, but he's actually talking to a studio. This is valuable information for us.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing with that too, of like film criticism's dying, because Chris Stuckmann's not reviewing movies now, like film criticism is dying. When Roger Ebert died, was that the end of film criticism? He was like the biggest film critic in the world when he died. And like, film criticism goes on. There's always new people. There's always new voices. If you don't want to listen to Chris Stuckmann anymore, you don't have to listen to Chris Stuckmann anymore. This is one of the most ridiculous fans' arms in the air over nothing, I don't know, controversy on YouTube I have ever seen. Did he pull out a ukulele? Little shade there. No, he didn't do any of that. He didn't have to do any of that because he didn't do anything wrong. That's my thoughts on this situation. And I think it's
And another reason why this blew up is because the news cycle has been so slow since January.
Yep.
Everybody was feasting to have something to generate something within this space.
Yep.
And this was like, and people were kind of been attacking Stuckmann since like last year because he won't do negative reviews, even though he explained it. And I always thought like Jeremy Jahns doesn't review every movie that he does not like. He'll review the big movie, but sometimes he'll do his top 10 worst movies of the year. He's like, oh, I didn't review this on the channel. Like, so he kind of does the same thing.
Yeah.
He'll like review a movie that he thinks is going to be great and it ends up not being. He'll let you know your thoughts, but no one comes at Jeremy Jahns for that because he's, I don't know.
Exactly. And Chris Stuckmann, like, it's not like he put out a video that was a Madam Web review and he just praised it and was totally a fraud and was fake. He wasn't fake.
Yeah.
He came out and gave his opinions in a video that he structured in a certain way, and he delivered on what he set out to do with that video. It's just people who clicked on it thinking they were going to get something else were upset. And I think the situation is just coming from people who are jealous and people who saw that this is a video trend that was taking off over this past week, and they wanted a piece of the pie and they wanted to get the views. So they made their own little video about their thoughts on Chris Stuckmann's situation.
Yeah.
And now I get to clip this out and put Chris Stuckmann on my thumbnail and talk about this situation as well. So, yeah, here come the views.
Thank you, Toxic Gamer.
Well, thank you very much for checking out this clip from our live show that we do every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time called Zach Milne Talks Live. If you like talking movies, if you like talking movie news, why don't you consider hitting that subscribe button before you leave? We do that on this channel all the time. But if you still need some time before you fully commit, you can check out the full video this clip is from right here, and you can check out another video over here. The subscribe button's right here.